I always thought I had a good life. A stable job, a decent home, and a family I could come back to after a long day. My wife, Lorna, was quiet but kind. Our son, Jamie, was bright, too bright, in fact. There were times I wondered where he got that sharp tongue, that sarcasm that seemed older than his age. Certainly not from me. It started with little things. Lorna was always tired, always distracted. She'd stopped asking about my day. Conversations became robotic, just logistics about Jamie's school, groceries, bills. She was also locking her phone more often, hiding it under pillows, turning off notifications. But I brushed it off. People change with time. Maybe I was just being paranoid. Then the money started disappearing. Small amounts at first, $50, $100. I assumed it was me forgetting what I spent it on. But then I checked our joint savings account. Thousands were missing. Lorna said she was moving some into a higher interest account, something her friend had told her about. I believed her. I wanted to believe her. Until Jamie needed a blood test for a school allergy check. Routine stuff. Nothing serious. I wasn't even going to look at the paperwork, but something caught my eye. Blood type, AB. Mine is O, Lorna's is A. That math doesn't work. I didn't say anything right away. I just started watching more carefully. Who she texted. When she smiled at her phone. The way she slipped out for yoga class, with no mat, no gym bag. I followed her once. She wasn't going to a yoga studio. She was meeting someone. A woman. And they kissed. Not a friendly kiss. Not a goodbye kiss. The kind of kiss we hadn't shared in over 2 years. I didn't confront her right away. I just stood there, half hidden behind a parked SUV, heart thudding like I'd run a marathon. My stomach twisted in ways I can't explain. It wasn't just betrayal, it was the realization that I had been living in a lie so perfectly constructed, I hadn't even noticed the cracks. I went home early that day. She wasn't back yet. I opened her drawer, the one I was never supposed to touch. Nothing criminal, just small signs. A hidden second phone, locked with a passcode. Letters, handwritten and tucked between old receipts, addressed to someone named M. I dream about you even when I'm awake. You're the only person who's ever made me feel real. I'm saving, slowly, so we can leave. He won't even see it coming. I sat down on the bed. My knees felt weak. So it wasn't just an affair. It was a plan. I hired a private investigator the next day. I didn't tell anyone, not my coworkers, not even my brother. I just told them I was sorting out some things. And the investigator? Worth every dollar I paid. Turns out Lorna had opened 3 bank accounts under her name only, slowly siphoning money from ours. Thousands. One of the accounts was joint, with that woman, M. They had plans to move to Oregon. New house. New names. A completely new life. And Jamie? I asked the investigator to look into him too. DNA testing, quietly handled through a contact of his. No confrontation. No court papers. No drama. Just a clean answer. Jamie isn't mine. Never was. The report didn't even offer a probable father. Just, not the biological father. That was all I needed to see. I remember sitting in the car for almost an hour after reading it. The rain hit the windshield like tiny fists. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't feel anything at all. I just felt blank. Like everything I'd built was made of paper and someone had lit a match under it. But I wasn't going to burn quietly. The next few weeks, I became a different man. To everyone around me, I was still the same, a little quiet, maybe tired, but still doing my job, still making breakfast for Jamie, still giving Lorna a peck on the cheek when she came home late from her evening walks. But inside, I was a storm with no thunder. I had a plan. I didn't leave. Not yet. I wanted to watch her squirm. I wanted to see how far she'd go, how much more money she thought she could steal, how deep she was willing to dig her own grave. And I started building my own little web. First, I began withdrawing money, slowly, just a few hundred here and there. I opened my own account under a name similar to my dead cousin's. Lorna never noticed. Second, I placed a tiny recorder under the sofa, near the hallway. Another in the bedroom lamp. One in the car. I wanted everything on tape. And it didn't take long. The first time I heard her phone call with M, I sat in the garage, lights off, listening to her voice play through my earbuds like poison. He's a joke, you know. Just walking around like he's still the man of the house. If only he knew. Another week or two and we'll have enough. Then I'm gone. I copied everything, audio, bank transfers, emails, and stored it in a secure drive. I even wrote a timeline, with names, dates, passwords. A war file. But the part that broke me most was Jamie. He still called me Dad. Still asked me to read his bedtime stories. Still left sticky hand drawings on the fridge that said, I love you. And I still loved him. That made everything harder. One night, I stood in the hallway watching him sleep, wondering, does he know? Will he remember me? Will I just disappear like a shadow when she leaves? But I knew I couldn't let it happen. I'd been lied to, robbed, emasculated, but I wasn't going to be erased. So I visited a lawyer. Quietly, of course. Laid out the evidence, the audio files, the financial theft, the plan to flee with someone else. I didn't mention the DNA test. Not yet. Start documenting everything, the lawyer said. But don't confront her. Not until we have leverage. You're sitting on a bomb. Let it tick a little longer. And so I did. Then came the night she slipped up. She came home drunk. Too drunk. Reeked of whiskey and perfume that wasn't hers. Jamie was asleep. She stumbled into bed and muttered something that made my blood freeze. It's gonna be so funny when he wakes up one day and we're just gone. She passed out before I could respond. I stared at her for a long time, trying to remember the woman I married. The woman I thought she was. She wasn't there. And that's when I decided, tomorrow, I light the match. I woke up the next morning before sunrise. Lorna was still snoring, wrapped in sheets she didn't deserve. Jamie was curled up in his room, thumb in his mouth, clutching the plush dog I gave him on his 3rd birthday. I made breakfast like usual. Eggs. Toast. Coffee. She didn't eat much. Just scrolled through her phone, hungover and distracted. I watched her fingers text someone, probably her. That was the last morning she thought she still had control. By 10 a.m. I was in the lawyer's office, handing over the final pieces. Audio files. Screenshots of bank withdrawals traced back to fake accounts in her name. Transfer receipts. Emails to and from Marcy, her real partner. There was even one where they joked about keeping me around like a dumb golden retriever, while they took my money. The lawyer's expression hardened. You can end this, she said. I nodded. Now. That afternoon, I took Jamie out for ice cream. I watched him smile, not knowing his whole world was about to shift. I almost backed out. Almost. When we got home, 2 things were waiting, a police cruiser and a child custody officer. Everything happened so fast, so cold. Just like she'd done to me, clinical, heartless, planned. Lorna came in the door laughing at something on her phone, and froze. I'm sorry, Lorna, I said, handing her the envelope. It's over. The officer stepped forward. Ma'am, we need to ask you to come with us regarding financial fraud and identity theft. What? She barked, suddenly pale.
What the F asterisk 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 are you talking about? The cop read her rights. Jamie stood behind me, confused. Mom. She turned to me, wild-eyed. You planned this? I didn't speak. I handed Jamie his toy, and when she was escorted out, screaming, I just watched. That night, I sat on the edge of Jamie's bed. He looked at me, small and scared. Is Mom bad? I hesitated. Mom made mistakes. But I'm still here. And then, just when I thought the fire was out, the DNA bomb exploded. Her lawyer, desperate, tried to claim I wasn't Jamie's real father. The court ordered another test. This time, it was official. I wasn't. It felt like my chest collapsed. That night I cried harder than I'd ever cried in my life. Not because I wasn't his biological father, but because I was his father in every way that mattered. And now she wanted to take even that away from me. But here's the part she didn't see coming, Jamie chose me. In court, they asked him, gently, who he felt safe with. Who he wanted to stay with. He looked up, small but sure, Dad. The judge ruled in my favor. Lorna got 6 years. Fraud, embezzlement, attempted parental alienation, falsifying accounts. Marcy vanished. Probably fled. And me? I got my son back. I sold the house. Started over in a new city with Jamie and a dog we named Echo, because I told him even in our darkest times, love always finds a way to echo back. Sometimes, justice isn't a slam. It's a slow, quiet knife that cuts in just the right places. And I didn't lose my family. I found the one that really mattered. Hey, guys, I hope you enjoyed the story. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and, of course, subscribe for more.